So here is a problem I have with people who claim they are polyglots or polyglots, however you want to pronunciate this. People who can speak a lot of languages. Many times you'll see people like this on YouTube, like, oh, I speak 7 languages. And there are people who can do this, which is very impressive. But for the everyday person like me and you, more than likely, who are trying to learn a new language, learning just one language might take you 2 or 3 years to master. I kind of laugh when people will say, learn Spanish in 1 month, learn all the basics in just 2 months. I personally don't believe most people can do that. Now, there are obviously exceptions, but most of us honestly need, I would say, 6 months to 1 year to be able to have average communication and average understanding. Now, it might be easier if you speak a language that's similar to the language you're learning. Like I can speak decent Spanish, it's okay, but I can understand I'd say about 70% of Portuguese and I can speak some back. But this is because Spanish and Portuguese are similar languages. If you ask me to do this with Russian, I might need 3 years just to be able to have a basic conversation, maybe more. And so when you see these people advertise, learn English in 1 month or learn this in 3 weeks, unless you already have a good basis or foundation, if you're starting from scratch, it's just not realistic. And it's okay to realize it might take you 2 or 3 years. That's not a bad thing. We live in such a society where everything's about, I want to do this fast, I want to do this very quickly. But many times that mindset is not realistic because here's what happens. You say, oh, I want to speak a language in 1 month. And then after 1 month passes, you don't see any significant results, you quit. But imagine if you would say, you know what, let's take 1 year and see what I could know. You give yourself time, you make it more fun, and you don't put this pressure on yourself to have to learn. People often overestimate what they can do in the short term, but they underestimate what they can do in the long term. I'll say that again. People overestimate what they can do in the short term and they underestimate what they can do in the long term. Meaning, people think they could do so much in a short time and they can't. But what people don't realize is if they take 1 year to do something, they can achieve a lot if they're just put in even maybe an hour a day. So I hope this encourages you. And another thing with these people who speak multiple languages, very few of them are 100% fluent in those other languages. I'm not saying they don't have an accent, but oftentimes they just know the basics. There's very few who are on a very high level of each language because there's just not enough time in the day and enough hours to practice. So take your time, have fun, and don't be discouraged.